Hey, happy Monday and welcome to the Hunky Tops Daily. I just realized that I didn't check my audio settings, but I think we're good. Okay. I don't know if you realized, but I decided to stop counting the days since I got laid off because that was putting too much emphasis on the fact that I got laid off and all of that. And yeah, that's in the past. I got laid off. Big deal. Big whoop. But let's move forward. So from today onwards until this series ends is just called the Hunky Tops Daily, and yeah, to make it to mark the difference, I guess, and for my own personal time keeping mental health, I guess I gotta call out the date. So today's April 13th. Um, and again, and that's just so the days don't blend into each other for myself, because that kind of tends to happen when I don't have meetings anymore and I don't have deadlines or strict deadlines like I used to, or a 9 to 5 shift that I had to fulfill before. I just got to keep myself aware of time and space constraints, so I don't forget to pull out the garbage, to put out the garbage, basically. So today's April 13. I went into this internationaldays.com website to see what kind of international day was today. It happens to be Thomas Jefferson Day. Uh, but there's also International Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day, and that really strikes a chord because I have suffered from imposter syndrome since I have memory. I guess it's a real deal, and it's yeah. We should talk more about it. So yeah, today's International Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day. Do you suffer? Have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? Uh, Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I experienced it all the time, even right now. It's also Scrabble Day. My husband and I used to play a lot of Scrabble. We put out our board a couple of weeks ago when we had some friends over. So yeah, we should get back to playing Scrabble probably today, since Scrabble Day. One fun thing is that we do play Scrabble a lot and we do count the points of each word, and our objective is still to make words that score you a lot of points. However, we don't keep track of the score, so we never know who wins or loses at the end of the match because neither one of us are very competitive, and we just don't want to keep tally or counting. It's like is of no interest to us. And when we played with friends, they were very upset about that fact. Some people are more competitive than others, and that's totally fine. But anyway, there are other international days. Visit internationaldays.com and find them. Maybe I should do this in queer history, right? Like what happened on April 13th in queer history. That's something that I will have to figure out for future episodes. Anyways, the whole point of this series continues to be the same, giving updates on what's going on Hunky Tops now that I'm dedicated to it full time. I'm still working on this tool, and this is a problem that I have, I guess, that I have to figure out how to be better at. I'm still working on this tool to generate reels or like shorts for Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. And the original idea was like super simple. I talked about it last week. The original idea was just to have like a product image floating on top of some procedurally generated background with some text floating on top of it. And the idea was to just promote some product, right? But in order to make them different, I wanted everything to be procedurally generated in, and by that I mean not using AI, just using some math, right? Some like trigonometry to define some waves and change colors and things like that. And even though that's working, the results are a little bit too boring, and I started adding more things to the mix. And like I said, originally it was like a background, an image floating on top, and some text. Now I was thinking, well, what if I wanted to share like UGC that I get, customer images, or make a reel with like really cool transitions, thinking CapCut. So I started implementing transitions into the system. So now there's this concept of scenes, and a scene has a bunch of elements that could be a background, an image, text, and a cover, and a transition to the next scene, and also some sort of like filter to go on top. I think Instagram filters. So basically, I've been working on all that the whole weekend, And though it's very powerful right now, I'm still working on it instead of using it, right? So if you go to my social media, to Hunky Tops social media, you won't find a lot of these reels because I'm still not making them. So that's what I gotta get better at, right? Like finding the moment to stop building the tool and actually start using it for what it was built for, right? So it's like to actually start generating this content, so I can start moving the needle in the direction that I want. Oh, another aspect, another part where I spend a lot of time during the weekend is that for these videos to be more interesting, right, I need some sort of background music. And because these are really short videos, I need very short loops, 8 to 10 seconds long. And I have a subscription to Audio Jungle or Envato, I guess it is now. And they have very little looping, and they don't have a lot of looping audio files that are that short. And I need them to be loopings because the videos are looped. And the whole point is that, if you start watching the video, you don't realize that it ended. If it ends and loops around, it should look seamless, right? For Instagram Reels and all of that. So I remember that back in 2010 or around that time, it was before and after I moved to the States, so around 2009. I was super into Fruity Loops, which is maybe an appropriate name. They call it FL Studio now, and I realized that I had like a lifetime license with them. So I logged into my FL Studio account and I downloaded the latest version of the software, and I started making my own beats again and my own loops that are the length that I need, and that have the advantage that I own the copyright, so I don't have to worry about licensing them or anything like that. So it's fun. I love producing music. I have to remember how to do it though, because it's been a while and I haven't used the software in such a long time. And there's some new features in it that I don't know how to use. So yeah, now I used to have my 9 to 5 work computers set up here, but now that I don't have the job anymore, I got rid of all that setup. So I have room here on this desk to maybe bring out my MIDI keyboard and go back to making some loops. And again, the whole idea is to make this music for the videos to promote the products that ultimately I want to sell, right? So I'm spending more time doing the behind the scenes work than actually doing the work that will move the needle forward. So that's where I need to strike a right balance, which I'm not finding right now. Anyway, that was a long-winded way to say that I don't have a lot of showy updates, but yeah, I keep an eye out on the Hunky Tops social media because some of these reels with my own music, which is not great, by the way. I'm not saying it's good music, and that's my imposter syndrome kicking in, but it's just, like I said, it has the advantages that it's unique, and it's not, I don't have to worry about licenses, right? I own the licenses for anything that I create. So tell me, what are you working on, and what are you going to be working on next? What is this week bringing for you and your projects, and what do you expect to see at Hunky Tops in the future? Hope to hear from you soon, and we'll be in touch. See you hopefully tomorrow. Have a wonderful Monday.